So I made a major update to the eBay Scraper 2.0. So it was previously 1.0 through 1.10. 2.0 is different in that now it can actually automatically go through a list of keywords and search those keywords automatically on eBay without you having to physically go to eBay, perform the search, and then scrape the search. So this is like a huge update because it totally changes the way that you can actually pull up products on eBay. And also you can set this on autopilot to where it will continue to start and execute that process every hour. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that, but we have to start with the basics, and we'll get right into how the rest of that works. And it's easy to do. Now, first of all, everything starts on eBay itself. And if you've used the sheet before, you know that the way it works is you search for something on eBay. For instance, I'll search for shoes on eBay. And from there, you take the URL. Typically, you copy that URL. You come over to the eBay sourcer. And what I'm actually going to do before I do that is just clear these eBay products out. And this is my first time using it, so you do have to authorize it. That's what that pop-up was. So the first time you execute one of these Google Sheets, because it has AppScript coding in it, okay, this is not something to be afraid of. I get people contacting me saying that they're afraid of this. Don't be afraid, okay? All you're doing is you're just authorizing the code to run. So it's going to say it hasn't verified the app, of course. I'm not the only coder. There are tons of people out there coding Google Sheets, coding AppScript, right? Google's not verifying millions of people's code who write code every day. That's all this really means. It's nothing to worry about, right? So you go to Advanced and you go to eBay Sourcer 2.0. I know it says unsafe, but it's not unsafe. Okay, it's not. That's just a warning that Google does, right? So now you click on Allow, and you can go ahead and at this point you can actually use the Google Sheet. Okay, that's the process. Now, so now going back to starting off again with at the beginning of the process, we're on eBay, we perform a search on eBay, we take the URL, we copy it, and we paste that right into here, okay, into this box. At this point, I go to eBay Scraper, and I extract the current eBay page, and that now extracts the data. Now, I'm glad this happened. It says you need to enter your user ID. Okay, I'm glad that happened because I have to tell you about that too. I did add from version 1.10, needing to enter an ID. Now when you go to the menu, eBay Scraper, you go to set user ID, okay? And it's generic, all right? Now it's generic, it's test user. I had it set up where it was gathering your email when you download it, and then you had to put your email. No more, okay? Just put test user. Okay, it's like totally open. Just put test user, click OK, and then you're in. Okay, so test user, and then you're in, right? Now, at this point, I'm actually ready to start using it. eBay Scraper, extract current eBay page, and now I'm actually able to extract that data onto the sheet. Okay. Might take a few moments, and then all right, so now it's extracting data, which is good. Like to see that. Okay, now, so that's typically how I've been using this, and all of you out there who use this sheet have been using this for a few years. Right. Now, that's obviously slower and more deliberate, but there are times when you want to search that way. There's going to be times when, of course, you want to search for one thing at a time and really, do a focused search. But there are other times when you may want to just enter a list of keywords, brands, categories, just anything, and automatically search them, keep pulling up the product results automatically, okay, without having to do it physically. So now that's what we're going to learn how to do. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this one right now, right? And I'm going to go back to the menu, eBay Scraper, and clear eBay products. That means the eBay products down here. Now for the automatic search setup, okay? Here's the difference. You go to the search list tab, okay? And on search list, you have at the top the number of keywords, okay? It's just telling you how many keywords in here. Now, how do you get keywords? There are a number of ways you could do it. One of my favorite ways is go to ChatGPT, okay? I don't have it open right now, but get ChatGPT. It's free, OpenAI, and ask ChatGPT for some keywords that are popular, and then you can paste those keywords in here, okay? If you want random keywords. So here's some keywords. They're already here. You just copy. You can copy and paste them in here. And so the number of keywords is 66. The last row, 72. Okay, fine. Now, the last row searched means what row did it do? Now, you haven't started yet, but after it starts searching, for instance, if the last row was row 10, it's going to say last row searched was row 10. Okay? I'm going to delete that. Then you have the search URL front, search URL back. Okay? I'll explain what this means. Now, the front half, in fact, let's go on to eBay itself. Right? When you perform a search, as I did before, you get a URL that appears in the address bar, and there's a front and back half. Shoes, I consider that's the actual product name. That's pretty much the front half of the search. Okay, that's the front of it. From here to there. To that equal sign, I'm calling that the front, because I'm going to take that and then combine it with the keyword shoes. The back half, after the word shoes, going from here on, okay, that's going to be the back half. Okay, that's going to be the back half. All right, so that's the front half and the back half. Now, the back half is where all of the filters are. So that's where we're going to get our filters, okay? So now, first, just take a step back. If you want to go ahead and search these right now, and you don't care about filters, you can go ahead and just click search keywords. I just want to explain that quickly. And it will start searching the keywords without any kind of filter. So you see you only get the front half, and there's no back half. See that URL? It's just simple. It's just the basic eBay search URL, right? Now, if you, okay, so you can do that, all right? However, that's not what I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually clear that out. What I want to do, rather, is I want to do the back half also, which are the filters. So what I'm going to do is set up my filters. Condition. I'll just quickly set up a few filters. Come on. I'm going to do, for instance, new with the box. And then I think, yeah, is it on buy it now? Let's see. I'll click on buy it now. Okay, I think it's already on buy it now. Right? And you do whatever you want for that. But the main thing I want to point out, because I know a lot of people are going to miss this, is I want to point out at the bottom of the page that you've got to do the items per page. For instance, if you want, as many as 240 per keyword, that's a lot. Keep in mind, but if that's what you want, then you can change this to 240. The default is 60, so if you want just 60 products per keyword, that's fine as well. So it's whatever you want, okay? But obviously, if you have a lot of keywords, it's going to take longer to do more results. So you do whichever one you want. Now, once you do that, you see that's inside of the URL. Again, all we're really doing, starting with this ampersand after the word, the keyword, I'm just going to copy that. That's called the back half of the URL. And now I'm going to copy that. That has all the filters in it. New condition, buy it now, everything is in there. I'm going to go over here and just paste that in the search URL back half. This is so that every keyword will be searched with the same filters. So this formula for the eBay search URL, concatenate, is just combining the front half, the keyword, with some plus signs for the spaces, and this back half that you put up here. You can even manually open these searches if you want to just manually search something. One of those keywords. you can even do that. Okay, but what I'm actually going to do is use search keywords on eBay to do it automatically. And this is not, a browser automation or anything. No, it's going to happen right here inside the sheet. So this is really good because literally, by the way, you might not know, you can run these functions, and I'll show you how to use the trigger to automate it. And you don't even have to have your account open. You don't have to have the sheet open. You can close the sheet. It will still continue running, and you'll come back and open the sheet. As a matter of fact, I don't think you even have to be signed in. I'm pretty sure that you don't. Yeah, you don't even have to be signed into your account. These functions will keep running. All right, that's the way Google Sheets actually works when you run these functions. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set all that up. It's not hard to do. Okay, so right now you see it's doing that. I do have a Google search link here. I just figured it was just something to throw in there. And Google Trends, if you want to see how a keyword is looking on Google Trends, if you just want to see results on Google. So you do have that option, those options in there as well, by the way. But just focusing on pulling the product data, you'll see that the product data is coming out. For that first keyword, it's 240 results, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and set up the automation for it to keep doing this every hour. And to do that, I'm going to go to Extensions, App Script. Okay. And you'll see the code in here. Okay, you'll see some code, of course, and this code is just calling the eBay scraper library that I built that this runs on. Okay, so this, so we're not going to use any of this here. We're going to triggers rather. And once you go to triggers, you'll click add trigger and you'll select which function to run. Okay, and the function is, you'll see a lot. There are a lot of functions. So you're going to look for search. Okay, and I know there are a lot of functions. Some of these functions might be removed on your copy because I see there might be some things in here that I was kind of testing out and I might have just left them. So I'm looking for search eBay or eBay search. Sorry, I actually just forgot the name of the function. So as I scroll down, I'll know when I see it. They're just here it is at the bottom. Search list. Okay, the function is search list, and then I'll do time driven for the event source. So it's driven by time, and then I'll do hour timer every hour. Now you might say, well, why not do like, say, minutes? Do like 30 minutes or something. Well, first of all, you've got to leave time for it to finish. Like I just started a search. I've got to let this thing finish. You can see it's still running. All right, you don't want to overlap these. It will completely mess up everything. So I want to leave time in between in the process. So I'm going to use an hour. And when I hit save, okay, hour timer every hour, it's going to start counting from this moment. And an hour from now, it will start. Okay, time-based. It will run for maybe 30 minutes or however long it takes. It will stop, and then it will start again. So if it started at 12 a.m., maybe it'll run to 12:30 depending on the number of products, and then it'll run again at 1 a.m. and then it'll run at 2. It'll run, okay. So it'll be like a half hour on, half an hour off type thing. Okay. So that's basically it, right? Now, if you do see the products coming out from the first search that I just started, and you won't see anything here, last row searched, until it's complete of that row. So when it's done with home furniture, it'll say 7. This is important. Don't mess with this until you're done with the whole list, because this is how the system knows where it left off. Yes, yes, it's possible I could code it differently, but the thing is I like that the users know what's happening, that you can see it. So I prefer using the spreadsheet itself for you to see the last row and for it to read it from here. I like that you have that control. Okay, I could have coded it in a way where it would just store it in a kind of a memory, using like a memory storage properties, they're called. You know, instead, but I want you to see the row number. Okay, I want you to know, and I want you to be able to change it. If for some reason you decide you want to skip to row 21, you can, you know, later on, you can have it, you can put 20 here as the last row searched, because it will continue from after that point, you know. And then that would make it start at 21, right? So you can control where it starts, by the way, by putting that number here first of the last row and then click and search. So this gives you that control, and then you can see what's happening as well. Okay, so that's why it's set up that way, just so you know. Okay. So that is pretty much how that works. Yeah, there's really not anything else to this, to that part. Okay, it's really just a matter of letting it do its thing. Now, as far as more complete automation, we do have the products list. So I guess I ought to, yeah, I might as well go into that, right? You can also start the products list, start generating the list. So you can go on eBay Scraper. You can also do automatic sourcing. If you're familiar with this, then you know what I'm talking about. All of those can be added into the trigger. You can create a trigger for each one, by the way. This will completely automate the whole thing. So you could, like, I might as well go for it. I'll go ahead and click Start Sourcing, and it will start sourcing. Okay, and I'm not targeting the search right now. It's just the targeted search is off. I'll take 20 max sources, minimum accuracy 0%. I don't care about, you know, how close the URL match. That means I don't care how close the URL matches the word. Just give me everything you've got, basically. That's what it means. And it's just going to give you everything, right? So it's got Zorro links in here. I see Target. You're going to get a lot of Amazon when you do a generic search like this. You're going to get Walmart. You're going to get, you know, different things, okay? But you're going to get a lot of the main ones because they're at the top of search results, right? And, you know, it's like a manual search, okay? So that's the sourcing process, right? So it's finding sources, potential sources of the products, okay? And then you have the, what is it? The product list. Where is that? Start generating list. Okay, start generating list. So that will start generating the products list. Right? So that will take the sources and put them on a row. Each one on its own row individually. So it's really important, okay, to do this because it makes navigating the sources easier. And maybe you don't plan on manually navigating all of these sources, but you know, there of course are some data extraction methods. There's get data, which I have now added on 1.10. I added get data. This is if you don't know what this is, it's a function I actually created that has the ability to extract data, certain data from certain websites. It's not AI driven. It doesn't just figure out things on the spot. So it can only work with certain websites. Okay, so some, you know, it works well with obscure sites, and then it can extract data from, you know, some sites, but not Amazon, not Walmart. You know, it can't access those. Those sites don't really allow that kind of access. Okay, so there's that, right? But right now, I just want to focus on the triggers, those two main triggers. The sourcing that I just started and the products list that I just started. Those are the two triggers that I want to add to complete this automation, this autopilot research. So now sourcing, I'm going to do continue sourcing. Now, technically, I have an automate continue sourcing option that already does what I'm about to do, but I prefer, now I realize it was maybe not a good idea. It's better if you guys set this up yourself. Because what happens is I have people were contacting me. What a lot of people were doing was setting this up and not realizing that there's a trigger running, and then they'll set it up again, and then there's two of them, and then they're overlapping, and that creates, it doesn't work once you start doing that. That creates problems and overlaps. Then you have overlap in executions. So it's better you come in here continue sourcing, select the option, and do it on your own. All right, and I'll do every hour for that, and I'll save that. Okay, so it's better you set these up on your own. And then I'm going to do one more trigger, which is generate product list. Okay, generate product list, time driven, hour, every hour, and save it. Okay, it's still going to take time because it's still sort of manual, right? It's not like when it's not like when you press this button, it's just going to go whew, through all these keywords and just give you all those results at once, right? Of course not. So still going to be a process that takes time, right? But so, over a couple hours or however, I mean, depends on the number of keywords. Okay, but, it will just continue doing that search. It will continue doing the sourcing and building that products list. And then in another, some other content, I can talk about the data extraction. I've demonstrated the data extraction using get data before. So, I mean, but in fact, I mean, okay. While I'm on it, I mean, it's simple enough to do because it's already installed. So what I'm going to do is it's just for the price. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the price column T. Actually, it's not just for the price, but I'm going to use it for the price. So get data, and then I'll do set extraction column. I hope it doesn't ask for the okay, I'll see if it asks for user because but I can just use test user on this. And it'll say enter the data element that will be extracted to this column. So you do have to type it in because it's not made just for one thing. So you literally have to tell it what to put in, which is the price. And then it's going to ask for the source column, which is N. And you have to enter that source column. So now it's set up. Then you have eBay scraper. Sorry, not eBay scraper. Get data, and then you can do like extract range. And because it's Amazon, it's not going to work. So, this will not work with Amazon. So you're not going to get everything with this. Get data, by the way, I forgot to do this first. Set the head in row, which is row 1. You want to type in row number 1, okay. And then get data again. And now I'm going to do extract range. It does more than one, but I'm doing one. Sorry, I already said it's not going to work on that. So actually, let me highlight the whole column. Because I can't show you just one because a lot of these are not going to work. So I'll do get data, I select the whole column, and I'll do extract range. And it will just, it will extract for some suppliers. Okay, so you see like Target is coming out and Wayfair is coming out. Okay, those prices are coming out. Amazon's not going to come out. And with this type of thing, really what you're looking at, it'd be nice, of course, if I could just pull all these prices at one time, but really, if you want to do that, you're going to have to use the SKU grid option, which I've demonstrated in other videos. I still have the generate SKU grid import CSV and the export. I've demonstrated over the years how to use SKU grid to pull data into here. I'll have to pull up one of those videos and send it out to you if you need it. But basically, SKU grid software, paid software, that's going to be your better option. I have a link. You can sign up. All right, so you can always go to my instruction sheet. I have the link for the trial, SKU grid. You can get your trial. Appreciate if you use the link. It is an affiliate link. I appreciate if you use that. Appreciate it if you use that link to sign up. And that is the software that you actually need if you really want to pull all the prices. I mean everything into the sheet. So, however, if you were going to use get data to at least reduce some of the work, you can also automate get data auto continue extracting, auto continue. And when you go to the triggers, I'm going to refresh the triggers. You'll see that the continue extracting is in here. Now you might say, well, why didn't I use the add trigger? Well, I didn't use it because with get data it's a little different. I mean, for one, now that you've added a few triggers, you're going to understand what's happening over here. So I don't mind, I didn't mind using the option, but you see what it does is it adds the trigger for you. Okay. So now you have the trigger continue extracting range. Okay. So now the trigger's over here and you know that it's there. And at some point you will have to remove it, which by the way is the thing I have to show you how to do. At some point you're going to go over here and delete these triggers. Okay, when you want to kind of like start over your search process from the beginning, you're going to come to triggers and delete these triggers. Okay, you'll come over here and delete all of these triggers. All right, so that's pretty much everything that I needed you to see. So you can see a few more prices are starting to pop in here. And that's everything that I needed you to see. So for this process, and that's it. I mean, it's going to be on autopilot. Okay, it's now on autopilot. Every hour, those things will pick up and start running. You're going to have products scraped from eBay. You're going to have potential sources of those products. You're going to have a nice list of every single source on a separate line with for every eBay product that was scraped from eBay. You're going to have, for some suppliers, using get data, which is perfectly free, some data that is scraped, price data that's going to be scraped into the Google Sheet directly. And then, of course, if you use SKUGrid, you're going to be able to upload, in bulk, hundreds of, or thousands, depending on the subscription you get, of these products to SKUGrid, and you're going to be able to pull all the prices at one shot. So you'll wait till the process is done. You'll go to SKUGrid and then you'll pull all that data in there. Right? So basically, it's like an autopilot product research process here. So look, this is what you can do. This is great especially if you can't or don't want to use, typical software like Zeek Analytics, and if you don't want to pay that monthly charge that they have, and if this is something that you think can suffice, you're able to automate your research, then this is something that could be useful for you, right? You should definitely check it out, look around for links. And there also might be potentially product lists provided, like leads provided, potential leads, potential, product matches of products that have sold higher on eBay, recently, and then are cheaper at some other supplier website. So kind of look around to see that if I have any lists like that. I might not. I mean, I can't say when or at what particular moment, or if I have it, especially depending on when you're watching this video. But it is something that you can look out for. And when you download this, you're basically subscribing to get more contact from me for this tool. However, use my general Tools for Sellers email subscription if you want to be contacted and notified of everything that is happening or that is available as far as tools specifically for sellers. That's pretty much it. That is the whole process. I know there was a lot to this process. You can always contact me, let me know what you thought about this process and how well it was or easy or difficult it was to understand the process. And that's about it. Yep. That's it. Yeah. So contact me. I'll either hear from you directly or I'll just see you around in another video.